troll-in-chief again.
Donald Trump has started announcing all of his picks for different cabinet members, assembling the cast of The Real World White House. Season 2. Who's going to sleep with who? Who's going to get booted? I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your Dumpster Fire. Welcome to Dumpster Fire, where we make burgers out of your sacred cows. Sorry, India. I was a little bit worried because Trump got elected and things were pretty normal. He was making some seemingly reasonable decisions, and I was like, oh, man.
The left-wing gender insanity being pushed on our children is an act of child abuse. Very simple.
For those of you who found us during this election, I hope you understand we don't have an allegiance to anyone. We started Dumpster Fire in 2019. We were going to make fun of Trump. We're going to make fun of the left and all of their people. We're going to make fun of ourselves because we're the most ridiculous in this situation. And we're probably going to make fun of you when we read your ridiculous comments at some point. Most of you actually are hilarious and have great comments. Some of you we're not so sure about. So don't get all butthurt if we're making fun of your boy, okay? He came out of the gates and was pretty stable, and now he's really starting to let stuff loose. I feel like we've entered into the fanfic era of America. Like, it does feel a lot like Real World White House. All of the picks. And they're all such figures. So we had Pete Hegseth, who's a Fox News contributor, but he also went to Princeton and Harvard. He went to a bunch of Ivy League schools, and he's a decorated vet, and he's hot, basically. He's hot. So I'm all for him. We need more jawlines in the White House. And then we have Tulsi Gabbard for the Director of National Intelligence, which is chef's kiss perfection since she was put on from watch list to director of these people.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm all for it. People on the left are like, she's a Russian asset.
This is outrageous and offensive on so many levels. It's offensive to me as a soldier, as an American, as a member of Congress, as a veteran, and frankly, as a woman.
But I'm also all for having a dictator. I don't ever want to have to go through an election again. I'm tired of it. It just took the life out of me. That's why I voted for Trump. I was ready. I'm ready for a dictator in America. I think it's time. Or at least a monarchy. At least let's elect someone king. I'm kidding, guys, for those of you who don't know, kind of. We have the first female White House Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, all for that pick. She seems like a great idea. She reminded me kind of Maggie when he was trying to bring her out and get her to talk, because she ran his campaign, right?
Yeah.
And he was trying to get her to come out and say something, and she was like, nope, and just faded into the background. And I was like, oh, she totally is the voice of reason. That's like Maggie.
The Ice Maiden. We call her the Ice Maiden.
Just wants to stay in the background and boss everyone around. RFK Jr. has been nominated as the Secretary of Health and Human Services. And now it seems that other people's brains are exploding in the wake of this Kennedy getting nominated for this position. There's a lot of talk about how we're going to have polio and measles outbreaks. I don't think he doesn't believe in vaccines. One of the things I hope he does is make it legal for us to sue the pharmaceutical companies if there are injuries.
I was reading about this. He's not an anti-vaxxer. He doesn't not believe in vaccines. He wants better testing for vaccines. He's like, they should be going through the trials and tests that all other drugs have to go through to come to market. And I don't think he's not on board with the now like 70 mandated ones or whatever they are.
Yeah, there's so many that are, it's actually crazy compared to when we were growing up, how many are mandated. I agree that we're one of the only countries that has pharmaceutical ads, and I hate them and have always hated them. And I think that I get rid of those. Our food is absolutely poison. We should do something about that. We've talked about this a lot. I think he could really come in and mix things up for the good. I like how mad everybody's getting. Honestly, from my perspective, bring it. This is all entertaining. So bring in the hotties. I'm just glad to see that a bunch of people are actually in shape. We've got the fit team. And then we went from clown world to meme world. And now we have the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, in a nod to the shit coin that Elon started. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. You know, the obvious joke everyone has been making is it's pretty funny that a Department of Government Efficiency has two people doing one job. I, for one, hope they get rid of the Department of Education. The literacy rates, which came out last week, have collapsed in this country since the Department of Education was started. Nothing actually has improved across any metric level whatsoever. Americans have just progressively become dumber since the Department of Education was created. So get rid of it. And then there's Matt Gaetz. I still don't know how to say his name. Matt Gaetz, really? For Attorney General? I don't know, guys. He seems like a scumbag who's being investigated for trafficking and pedophilia and whatever else. Ben Domenech wrote something that was scathing, and somebody said he basically can write this because it's all on the record without worried about getting sued. So there's a lot of people who are conservatives who are pushing back against this. And I don't know. I pretty much judge everyone by whether or not they strike me as like a true scumbag. I don't care if you like having sex, Elon. I know you're a Kennedy, so you're going to cheat on your wife, RFK Jr. But Matt Gaetz looks like a real scumbag. He just does. With all that weird Joker Botox and fillers that he's getting too, it's not helping his image. And I think he's being brought on to the reality show Real World White House to be the villain, because we need a villain. We need somebody who's going to be a real piece of shit. And I think this is his role.
Do you think he'll get confirmed even though? Like, or will he just be voted off the island?
I don't know. There was some rumor going around that Trump was going to do some dictator shit and just like try and recess Congress and confirm everyone, you know, in the recess, which whatever. Like I said, I'm all for the dictator roles now. I'm like, bring it on. Bring it on. Bring on all these hotties. It's time.
Bridget just wants some eye candy in the White House.
I want some eye candy and some entertainment, okay? If this is going to be America's new entertainment source, which it clearly is, Trump knows what he's doing. He's assembling a reality show. Long story short, I don't know anything. I want to hear your takes on the appointments, and we're just here to laugh while the world burns. Don't forget, we know nothing. Before our next segment, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, touch my bells and buttons. Do a little dance in your room just to make yourself feel good. Get up and dance right now. Speaking of reality shows and everyone having sex, are you worried you have an STD? We've all been there, or maybe you haven't been there, in which case you should be out there having more sex. No one likes to think about STDs though, and if you're sexually active, you should be getting routine STD and STI screenings to make sure you and your partner or partners, we're not here to judge perverts, are safe and healthy. Now you can skip the doctor and buy your own STD and STI tests online with Quest. This is very cool, you guys. These are the same quality lab tests that doctors use. It's as easy as purchasing a test from questhealth.com and visiting a nearby Quest Diagnostics location for sample collection. No doctor's visit required. Your results are delivered online quickly and discreetly. STD testing with Quest keeps the results off of your insurance, which is a huge plus, and you have the option to discuss them at no extra cost with an independent physician who may be able to prescribe treatment for your syphilis. So be responsible. Prioritize your health with STD and STI testing on your terms. Visit questhealth.com today. Use the code FIRE to get 25% off, and find answers to the multitude of health questions you may have. That's questhealth.com and use the code FIRE for 25% off. Make sure you're not spreading chlamydia. Link is in the description below.
What is happening?
New Zealand's parliament was brought to a temporary halt by MPs performing the Haka in protest of a controversial bill that was trying to reinterpret the country's founding treaty with the Maori people.
House is suspended.
I mean, who doesn't love a Haka? The Haka's just kind of cool.
It's very cool. The woman in charge, she's one of the new members of parliament. She's young.
Yeah, she's the youngest member of parliament.
But she's just such a badass in that video. Her commitment is intense.
She's like the AOC of New Zealand.
Truly.
Than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots that breathe, trampling on our way of life.
If AOC could do the Haka that well, I'd have a lot more respect for her.
I want AOC to rip up a bill and do the Haka at the next freaking House of Representatives. Remember when Nancy Pelosi ripped the...
Yeah. Don't try doing the Haka, Bridget. We'll get taken down from YouTube.
My Haka just looks like when they do the chicken in Arrested Development. That's my Haka.
Not true at all.
I'll just be like, no, I wasn't doing the Haka. I was doing the chicken dance from Arrested Development.
It's like, has no one in this family ever seen a chicken?
Has anyone in this family ever even seen a chicken?
The best show. Now let's check the weather with Diana Alvarado.
Frío con núcleo que vendrá ahora sí que a congelar nuestro territorio. Ya vemos aquí cómo se acerca. Para este fin de semana se espera que tendremos nevadas importantes en nuestra ciudad.
Thank you, Diana. Hope you have fun at the club tonight. I just always imagine them going directly to some club and getting bottle service with a bunch of dudes in a cartel.
Breaking Bridget.
Trustee of Britain's oldest breastfeeding group, La Leche League, was forced to resign because she wouldn't help biological men chest feed. I thought the UK was getting better about this stuff. How is this even going on there? J.K. Rowling, what are you doing?
She tweeted about it.
I know. They're men pumped full of hormones who are trying to feed their babies. I had a tweet in 2023 about this where I was like, the whole men chest feeding thing makes me want to unalive myself. It is so ridiculous on its face. Breastfeeding is so hard for normal women who are literally built to do it. It is not easy. It is exhausting. It isn't some fucking thing you get to just try on so that you can be like a woman in your woman face. And it is outrageous that this woman was forced to resign because she was like, no, I'm not letting men invade this space for women.
We've covered this extensively on Dumpster Fire too. Like when we were talking about what the hormone concoction that these men take in order to be able to produce breast milk that is actually just hormones. The CDC has issued new guidance endorsing chest feeding by trans-identified biological males.
How is this okay? You're the CDC. I get emotional because this is, political, not at all about the safety of the baby.
To mimic lactation, biological males can use a combination of drugs. This combination can include a contraceptive pill to produce estrogen, an anti-nausea medication, a heart medication, an antipsychotic, a sedative, and an off-label...
Why do you need the antipsychotic?
And an off-label lactation drug called domperidone. In 2004, the FDA cautioned biological mothers against taking domperidone, in part because the drug is excreted in breast milk that could expose a breastfeeding infant to unknown risks.
How is this good for the baby? You can't even take fucking Tylenol when you're breastfeeding. Or Advil, it's one of them. There's so many things you can't even drink chamomile tea, and these guys are freaking injecting themselves full of whatever concoction of what, and now it's like, you guys, I can't tell you how insane this is, and I will not stand for it, and neither should you, and neither should anyone. This is not okay. Oh, I interviewed Kara Dansky yesterday, and she was so clear about it. She's written 2 books on this encroachment of biological men into women's spaces because they don't want a third option. They never want a third sports team or a third bathroom. They want access to women's spaces. And she's like, anytime a man is demanding access to a woman's space, that is predatory and also just misogynistic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, J.K. Rowling said, a trustee of Britain's oldest breastfeeding charity has resigned. Can we talk about fetishists yet? Or must we turn a blind eye lest it seem prudish or unkind? This is a fetish.
Yeah. And we need to start calling out these perverts. What happened to calling out perverts? You used to be able to call some dude out when he would walk into a spa with an erection, and now you're a bigot. I'm sorry, but we need to be able to call these perverts out. And the craziest thing is that it's often women who are allowing this. Ladies, get the men out of your spaces. You would be mad if some dude flashed you on the road. This is no different. You're just being gaslit into thinking that you're the bad person. Me when a man walks into the restaurant. Me when a man walks into my breastfeeding class. Me when there's a dude on a female rugby team. Me when I'm called a birthing person. If you love Dumpster Fire, please join us at Phetasy.com. Subscribe. You get the unedited version, which this week has quite a lot in it.
There's a lot that's going to be left behind the paywall on this one.
Join us. It's the best way to support the show. We love our advertisers, though. Support the people who support us. Christmas is coming, so now is a great time to support the people who support us. We will have a new version of the women hoodie that we're launching coming soon at BridgetPhetasy.com. Very excited about that. A lot of people have been asking us to relaunch it, and we're going to do a new design with a twist. We're working on it. It'll be out in a few weeks. Thank you to everyone who makes Dumpster Fire possible. Thank you to all the editors, writers, and thank you to our supporters. Help us get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube by the end of the year. Please click that bell and button and like us and tell your friends about us now that you don't have to keep a secret and you know that all your friends are on the same page as you. Please go out there and spread the word of the Dumpster Fire. We will be launching every Wednesday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time through the rest of the year until that schedule changes. Now, to cleanse your palate, the internet is glorious.
The superlative.
Because that pipe doesn't go to the marshmallow room, it goes to the fudge room. You terrible man.
Remember, life is absurd. Don't take yourself so seriously. Take the work seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. This has been your Dumpster Fire. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich!
And the unicorns dance while the world burns.